Another day, another lesson here. Myrtle Beach trip last weekend, we had maybe like 6 or 7 guys who finished the weekend with a little hip flexor strain. So we want to talk about homework we can do every single day and a warm-up routine that we can use pre-practice, pre-competition to help prevent these things from happening in the future. So first and foremost, if you suffer a hip flexor strain, groin to the outside, you have to stop running full speed until that thing stops hurting. Quick accelerations where you're asking this muscle to stretch violently if it's already strained is going to make it worse. The worst thing you can do with a 1 or 2 week injury is make it worse, and now we're dealing with a 1 month injury. So until that pain goes away, you cannot run full speed. Got it? So daily routine, what we need is a soft ball here. I like a little bit of a bigger ball than a lacrosse ball. This is squishy, but it's about the size of a softball. And we need a light resistance band. You can find these on Amazon for pretty darn cheap. Hit me up, I can send you a link. Or I'm sure your gym in 2019 has a bunch of these. So light resistance band, you don't need a thick, heavy one. So with your softball, we want to set ourselves up on this muscle on the outside corner of the thigh here. So if you find your hip bone and you climb straight down, you should find a pretty thick, dense section of muscle right here. Take that softball, set it right on the bottom. You're gonna go ahead and flip over, and I'm rolling north and south all the way to that hip bone, down to about midway down my thigh. And every couple of reps, I want to start to rotate so I'm more on the middle of that thigh. And over time, make my way to the outside. So everywhere from right down the middle to the outside, you're working that thing up and down. 30 or so seconds each side. If you find some spots that are really, really tense, hang out there for a little bit. Once we're done 30 seconds on each side, take that same ball right where your hamstring turns into your glute muscle on the backside. Set that thing right in the middle, prop yourself up on your hands, and very similarly, I'm rolling north-south from the middle of your glute right into the middle of that hamstring. And all of these tissues, all of these muscles are pretty dense, so feel free to put some weight in, but we don't want this ball to hit anything that is very clearly a bone. Keep it in the dense tissue, and if it hurts, don't do it. Keep that pretty safe. All right, so once we finish rolling out those 2 spots, let's grab our light green band. You're going to go ahead and put this thing around your feet, around your shoes. So once that's in place, go ahead and lie on your back. Hands can go wherever they're comfortable. You want your abs to squeeze, so your lower back presses into the ground. Both quads squeeze here, and your toes point straight up. You can't let your toes point to the side or point straight ahead. Keep them pulled up. Keeping your abs engaged, feeling as much tension as you can on that section of the hip that we rolled out before. Start bringing your knee to your chest. Again, your goal is to feel as much tension here as you can. When you get to the top position, pause, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, focusing on tensing this. Notice that my left leg hasn't gone anywhere. It's staying pointed straight up. Slowly release that leg. We'll go the other side, same thing, maximizing tension in the hip. 5-second hold, 3, 2, 1, slowly release it out. You're gonna go 10 times each side at that 5-second hold. That's a lot of work. So when you're done, take that thing off, make your way up onto one knee, abs squeeze, this glute squeezes, so you're not letting your lower back round, you're pushing your hips forward, so this comes into a stretch. Hold it for a second, then I want you to take both arms and just reach up, look up, try to find that stretch through your abs. That'll be about 30 seconds each side. Quick switch to the other side, no big deal there, just trying to open that tissue up. So 30 seconds each side there. You're gonna come back onto your back. We're done with the band. Legs are as straight as they can be. Abs are engaged, so your lower back presses down, hands go wherever they want, same position, minus the band. So now it's our straight leg raise. Using this section of your hip, this is what we want to do the work. Toes point straight up, one leg at a time. How high can you raise this leg without letting the knee bend, without letting the toe point at all? This is the only muscle responsible. Make this cramp. Hold it for a moment on top, and then slowly lower it to the floor. Remember, your lower back cannot leave the ground. Very easy to check. That'll be 10 repetitions with the toe pointed straight up. From there, the leg that's moving, I want you to turn the toe in as much as you can. Use that same section of your hip. Straight leg raise from there. That's going to also be 10 times each side. And once we finish right and left, same concept with our toe pointed outward. Leg is straight. This is going to be more of the inside of the thigh, but we're using this section of our muscle to raise that leg. Make sure the leg isn't going right or left. That thing lifts straight up. Again, lower back is pressed on the floor. So that's a lot of work. And then once we finish all 3 straight leg raise variations, come back up onto one knee, push your hips forward. That same hip flexor stretch we saw before, reach your hands up, eyes up, so our abs stretch, and then take your upper body and just lean that to whatever side of the front knee. Keep your hips forward, so this stretches. Now as I lean, your rib cage through that hip on the right side should stretch. And hang out here, take about 30 seconds of deep breaths. Same thing, other side, about 30 seconds or so. That's a lot of work on the hips. It's gonna be really hard to start, but if you get hip flexor strains, you have to be proactive with your work. This routine will start discouraging that in the future. Get to it.